Welcome to Mama's Playground.
Welcome. We're so excited.
Yes.
We have two beautiful guests from Little Seed Match, Jessica and Amanda.
So Little Seed Match is an independent surrogacy match program. For those of us that don't know what independent surrogacy is, can you help us with that?
Yeah, absolutely. So independent matching is really where you take out the middleman. So the traditional model in surrogacy and what is kind of been out there for a while is where an agency would coordinate, would be in the middle. They would choose your match. They would be the coordinator through it all. So they would be kind of semi-choosing for you. And what we have done is allowed the people who are walking the journey to be in charge of who they're choosing and to be able to connect directly and create that like human connection again when it's something so beautiful.
So you're the founders. What made you open Little Seed Match? I know you have a story. I just can't wait to
Yeah, the journey was long. I was the intended parent and Amanda was my surrogate. So I had dealt with infertility for 3.5 years, and I had 3 miscarriages and 1 miscarriage. It truly rocked my world. I would say at that point, I realized I had become the statistic of 1 in 6 women deal with infertility after my 4th loss. And we had spent probably over $15,000 on test after test of figuring out like, why wasn't I able to carry full term? What was going on? And we never got answers.
Oh, you never?
No, never. And so at that point, the fertility clinic was like, if you would like a biological child, like surrogacy is the way to go. So at that point, I had interviewed over probably at least 10 agencies. And it felt like the carrot was constantly being dangled of like, how much are you willing to spend to get this child? What does this look like? It was so transactional. I remember being like, oh my gosh, 50, 70,000 just to join. This was not paying the surrogate. And for me, it just was like, is it possible? And I felt like I was buying something. It felt so out of character for me and out of place. And especially when I was grieving. And so when I met Amanda the non-traditional way, and we connected, it was instant. It was so nice. And it felt like a weight had been lifted off of me. And so from that point, when we started our journey, we're like, we have to share what we had. Like it's beyond us. There's so many who are feeling the same. And how can we do that?
How did you, going into your story, how did you meet her? Like, how was the non-traditional way of meeting her?
Well, for us, I would really say God's timing. I had 3 losses. And at that point, I was stepping out from patient care because it was just constantly having to take time off when I was losing. And so they were like, well, you have to fill your position. And I'm like, okay. So I kind of like reached out in our kind of world of dental world. And they were like, well, there's somebody, she's not really looking, but you could try. So I literally texted her and was like, hey, are you looking for a job? She's like, nah. I'm like, come on, just come in. Just come in and try it. So she tried for the day and she's like, I love it. And I was naive. I was still trying to get pregnant again. So she came in, took the position. I got pregnant with my 4th. And that's when I had that miscarriage. It took about, for me with the miscarriage, for those that don't know what that is. So it's where your body still thinks it's pregnant, still holds onto the baby, and you continue. So I saw heartbeat, I saw everything. And then a couple weeks later, we went in for ultrasound and they were like, there's no more heartbeat, but baby's still there. So my body didn't let go of the baby.
How many weeks was that?
So I should have been at 12 weeks. The baby had stopped growing for several weeks. And then it took another several weeks for me to pass the baby at home. So at that point, it just rocked my world. I literally took off for a month. I went to Europe. I came back and Amanda was like, what are they saying? And I was like, surrogacy. I can't wrap my head around it. And she's like, I've always felt called and led to do it. So a month from there, I started egg retrieval and we went.
You just gave me goosebumps. So you guys didn't know, you didn't know each other at all. She just came in to fill a position basically that you needed help with. And then she ends up becoming your surrogate.
Yeah, surrogogate. Yeah.
Well, that is definitely God's timing. I believe in that 100%. And how did you feel? Like, what was your calling for? Like, what made you say, okay, I really want to do this? Because you have your kids already, no? You have kids, your own kids.
Yes, for me, yes. So I have Yes, I have three boys. And my husband and I remember we were driving and looked at each other and I was just like, I can do this for somebody else. We can do this for somebody else. And I really think where that calling comes from is I don't think I'll ever feel done having children
Oh
in
my
the
God, you're giving
sense
me
of
goosebumps. Yeah, yeah.
where it's like, I think I could always say one more. Now, when you start to look at like the logistical side of things, one more is not where I was in the position to have one more. And so I looked at surrogacy and started doing some research for it, started the process of going into looking at agencies, and it felt like Jessica said very transactional. It felt like I was compromising my core, my main non-negotiables in order to be marketed or to be able to be showcased more to intended parents. So I really felt like the human connection was lost, and that's not where that didn't resonate with me to do this. No matter how much money somebody wanted to compensate me for, I still needed to know that child was going to somewhere safe, somewhere loved, somewhere where I would be like, yes, I would love for my children to hang out with my intended parent, knowing that that relationship is there.
Can I ask
And
you a
so,
question? How
yeah.
long did you guys know each other by the time that you said yes to, to being her surrogate? Like, was it already months in advance? Or, I mean, not months in advance. Was it months of knowing each other? Or was this like an instant thing that, she
I
saw you
mean,
struggling and then you decided to step in and say,
so from the time that Amanda said I felt called and led when I told her that day, literally she talked to her husband, I talked to mine because we were like, yeah. And they were like, oh wait, we got to go back to our families and talk about this. A month. A month I started egg retrieval. So we were rocking and rolling.
what? So it was a short
Yeah.
time.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my God. So
Ye-
that's definitely, it's not like a friend that you had for like 2 years that you were working and
No.
then this was like an instant
Yeah.
thing.
And
Yeah.
how long had you been looking into becoming a surrogate before you
Yeah.
met?
3 years.
3 years.
Just shy of 3 years. I remember I started looking at it when my youngest was turning 6 months.
Oh my God. How is the experience with that though? Because I can't imagine. Darlene and I were talking about this and we're like, how do you not get attached
Yeah,
to.
that is one of, I think, the biggest like myths that go on in surrogacy,
Yeah.
and where it really comes down to is the match, is the alignment. It's almost like I gained a sister with Jessica because our relationship, our bond is so intertwined and strong with our core values, and then even branching out of lifestyle, diet. And so it was beautiful to want to help her have what I'm so fortunate to have.
Yeah.
I love this story.
Darlene could tell you because Darlene has had her own issues
Yeah.
with conceiving and all that.
Yeah, I've had my own issues. I had my first one at 41, and then I had two miscarriages in 2020.
Sorry.
And my situation was more, with age. I just got checked. They were like, your uterus is beautiful. It's perfect. You can carry whatever you want to carry there. But, my ex say something else. And, but I have been struggling with that. And I lost my second one at, it was 10 weeks. And yeah, it was a she. She was there. I don't know. They told me same thing when I went to get an ultrasound. I stopped hearing the heartbeat. I've never talked
Yeah.
about this.
Oh my gosh.
And so when you were saying
I
it,
know.
yeah, and I remember for 2 days, I'm like, I have my dead baby, inside of me.
Yeah.
And then I
It's so
got,
hard.
yeah, and it was COVID. So when I went to get the DNC, my husband couldn't be there. He just dropped me off, and I went in, and it was like robots and all this gear and things. And so when I heard your story on that miscarriage at 12 weeks, yeah, I felt it.
You're making me feel it.
Yeah.
And that's what Jessica was saying, that this is so much bigger than Jessica and I and our journey and how amazing it is. And the taboo subject of infertility and surrogacy. There are so many women and families that want to have a child and grow, and that it's a hard pill to swallow when it gets to that point. But that's why really we created Little Seed Match, was to offer another path, another option, another way that brings the human connection back, because we want heart-led surrogates. We want them to see the intended parents for not just where they're going, but where they've been. And then really just having that connection, it makes the journey light for both sides of it.
What do
And
you think are the
gosh,
misconceptions though? Like, I think people probably maybe have a lot of misconceptions about this. And even
Yeah.
though they probably don't even think about it as an option. You know, I don't know what in your guys' journey, what would you say are or what you've seen now that you've started, you know, a little seed match, what are the misconceptions that you see people have about being a surrogate? Or what are the hesitations that make them say, I'm not too sure if this is for me? Is it more so finding that I don't know. I don't know how to say, because I've never been in that position, but I do feel like when Darlene talks about it and I imagine the whole situation, it has to be very hard. And then I don't know, maybe what would be something that, I don't know what I'm trying to say, excuse me.
Yeah.
Well, I guess one of them, like you were saying earlier, is probably the getting emotionally attached. You said that that's a myth.
Yeah. Yeah.
because I think it happens. Now, I definitely think it happens because I think the core of the journey should be the match. If I didn't know, and that's where I was saying earlier that it did not resonate with me because the human connection wasn't there with the intended parent, why I originally didn't pursue surrogacy, is because I would be worried because there's a child at a playground that's struggling on the monkey bars. I'm not going to look around for those parents. I'm going to go help that child. And so, not knowing the intended parent for me, I knew I would have had a problem. So I think that's where when we do traditional routes or we don't have that human connection in the match, it makes it very hard to detach because it is something huge. You're not selling a car.
Yeah.
The core is that this baby goes to a loving family that they're so wanted, and that I'm so honored to be a part of that journey to help them get there.
In your business right now, have you guys seen matches where they're like you guys, that people
Yes.
are connected and they've become friends, and now it's more like family? It's like, oh, that's my niece, you know, which, you
Yeah.
know, do you see that?
Yeah, so far our matches have been happening under 5 days, which is unheard of in the industry. Normally it's about 8 to 12 months on a good day with somebody that you don't align with at all. And so we are having these matches where they're like, oh my gosh, we have so much in common. This is great. We're texting every day. And I get the messages and Amanda get them. And we just like, we're so happy. It's
Yeah.
beautiful to be disturbing the industry in a way that is benefiting the people on the journey in the best way. And so to see these relationships develop, to see how happy they are after going through grief, to see how happy the surrogates are to connect and build that like relationship right from out the gate
Yes.
is how it should be.
Oh my God, I'm like picturing you guys. Do you guys go out together and the families like bond, like your
Yeah.
boys with Olivia's your daughter's name, right?
Yeah, yeah. Olivia's my gosh, she was born in February, so she's 5 months. So we laugh. We say that the boys are her future husbands. She's gonna have to pick one. So we laugh about that. She's so little now. But yes, me and Amanda are constantly out and about in families and intertwined. And it's
Yeah.
so beautiful. Truly, it just is an extension of our family. And it's like you're just forever grateful. Like, she brought me life.
And
my
Amanda,
God.
and how was it when you were carrying the baby? How was it? What were the questions that the kids were asking you? You said that the youngest one was
He's 3. Yeah. So he turned 3 a month and a half, or a month. No, actually 15, 16 days before Olivia came.
Yeah.
And so, going through the process, we talked about how are we going to tell our children? What does that look like? And for us, and what made sense based off my children's age, my oldest is 6, my youngest is 3, and then I have a 5-year-old.
Oh my gosh, how beautiful.
Was they're not going to understand, the scientific aspect of it. But what they're going to understand is that our family is so lucky to help Jessica and Frank. They know them, to have a family like ours. And me, mommy's body, it has a purpose. God gave mommy a purpose to help grow that family because mommy's body is really, really good at growing babies. So it was just kind of putting it at that level. And it was honestly so sweet. They would kiss my belly. They would talk to Olivia. so much so involved in it that when we would FaceTime after Olivia was
Yes.
born, she literally would open her eyes and look because she recognized my boys' voices.
Yes.
Oh, that so there's always gonna be that bond. Would you
Yes,
say
yeah.
like technically I know that they would maybe think like, oh, that's like I don't know, that's not like your stepsister or whatever, but you know, it's like, oh, that's family, you know, or no, it was never brought like that.
I
Close.
mean,
Yeah. Go ahead, Jess.
I think it's just by fluke, you kind of it overflows into this like extended people that just care about each other, just like I would care about Amanda's family.
Yeah.
So I think in that way, I would say a big myth, as like kind of one of the things that you guys were asking, is that they're like, oh, she's super bonded to the baby. And I'm like, I think really where the bond comes from is like me and her.
Yeah.
Truly, we were like so bonded with during the whole journey and just, I always say, on the same side of the fence, advocating for each other. And that's where that bond really came. So people always think it's naturally like the surrogate and baby. And in reality, not really.
Yeah. No, well, you guys are creating that platform to make it different, which is
So
beautiful.
what is one of the main things one of the most important things when you're pairing couples to the surrogate?
Well, I mean, they see each other, so they see each other's profiles. So we don't like pair per se.
Okay.
They get to see each other. They get to see each other's profiles about them, their religion, their dietary, all the details that you would see and want to know, and then they can connect directly in the platform.
This is a match.com.
I was just gonna say that. It's a
match.com, but match seed, you know, like for, you know, for
I
surrogates.
love the name. I love the name, by the way.
Yes. So yeah, it is the platform if you want to like kind of think about it is like a dating app. But this is so
More
much more.
important.
Think
Yeah.
about like, oh my goodness, it is just equivalent to your spouse. You have non-negotiables when you're selecting your spouse. You guys have to be on another level. You have to know that they would be your best friend that turns into someone that you can lean on a rock. And that's exactly, this is like the second most intimate relationship besides your partner, your spouse that you're going to have.
Yeah.
No, I think that's beautiful. I could definitely see it. And I'm sure there's so many people out there that are struggling. They've never even thought about this. And the way that you guys are doing it, I think obviously, like you said, you're taking the middleman out, you're making the connection between, you know, two families. And it's much bigger than just like a transactional thing, which is I think it's a beautiful thing. I mean, I don't know. Did you ever think of that, Darlene, in your particular case of maybe doing surrogacy? Did you ever look into that?
No.
That never crossed your mind,
This
you see?
is so interesting because this is opening the doors to so many people that don't know about this or are scared. And it's another way to become
many
a
women.
mom, finding a surrogate. And
I saw so many. I mean, I've seen like, you know, obviously we're in our 40s. And people are starting later now, and it's sometimes harder
Yes.
to conceive. And I've seen a lot of people try and then they can't. And I'll be honest with you. Sometimes that discussion of surrogate doesn't even come up. It's like, oh, I can't. And I don't think sometimes people even go far beyond that to give that an opportunity. I don't think, you know what I mean? This is maybe because of that, because it's always been like, oh, that's kind of weird. It's transactional. So I feel like what you ladies are doing is something beautiful, and that you two are friends now, like family, let's say, your bondage
and
for life.
I went onto your website and I love that you have those Q&As and you provide so much support to the families. And it's not like one of the big companies that could, you know, here you get to talk to the owners. You get to talk to two people that went through it.
Yeah, that's the most important.
Exactly.
That's the most
So,
important.
I mean, if I ever were to think about it, I know where to go. I definitely know where to go because it's beautiful hearing your story. I see it. It's more like a boutique, a one-to-one consultation and guidance throughout the process. How is the process? Somebody that wants to go right now and say, I want to sign up.
First, we offer free consultations, and you'll never get a coordinator with us or a middleman. We want to be boots on the ground. We want to know the intended parent and the surrogates. And so we do a consultation, kind of answer the questions because people are at different stages, whether wanting to carry for somebody or looking into having a surrogate to grow their family. So from there, we have the platform that you can go on, start creating your profile. We do identity and background checks, which include sex offender as well, because we want to make sure that we're creating a safe community. So once you're in, everybody that's in there has been vetted personally by Jessica and I. For surrogates, we do get their OB clearance as well. So again, kind of getting that first step in through to know that it's possible for that surrogate, because some people don't realize they can be a surrogate, or things that might, disqualify them. And so Jessica and I have those conversations and dive in. We do very in-depth interviews because we want to know who you're looking for, what you're looking for, what brought you to surrogacy on both sides, because we really want that alignment, because that match is huge, because then you're advocating together through the journey versus trying to convince each other of something. You guys already have that core.
Yeah.
From there, once you have that core, you then go through the steps of the journey, and it's doing it again with a partner instead of combating with somebody. And that's really what we're striving for. But yeah, once on the platform, you have access to all the profiles, and then you can reach out and make connections, and everything can be in the portal. When you're comfortable, you can step outside the portal, FaceTime, Meetup, anything like that. We provide sounding board of Jessica and I. We have vetted resources for pre, during, and post journey, whether that's lactation, counseling, lawyers, attorneys, anything. And we are constantly adding to that list.
So you filter, you ladies are the ones that personally filter everybody that's coming through the platform. Have you ever had anybody come on and then you ladies say, I don't know if this person, like, have you ever had to, I don't know if you can deny,
turn
reject
away.
somebody, turn away somebody?
Yes, we have.
Is there, and if you don't mind us asking, like, I mean, in any particular case, like why, or what did you ladies feel, or?
So from a surrogate standpoint, we've turned away surrogates if we felt like they were very money driven as the forefront. If they were asking for a very large, like over $100,000 as a base compensation, we felt like really, again, our platform is for people who are heart led. And it really overpours into what they're asking for. You can see it when they, put in their base compensation. They're not asking for crazy numbers. They're not asking for bonuses. They're not asking for all these things that in a traditional model through an agency, they encourage those things. And so that's where we're seeing also a significant difference. And then I would say the same thing for an intended parent. If they feel like they want more of a transactional experience, that probably would not be the best fit.
It's mostly with the surrogates though that you see like, I don't think this person
I cannot tell you
fits.
how many surrogates though come through that are truly heart led. Like it has
Much
been an
more,
outpour.
yeah.
We really don't see very much of those that come through transactional wise and wanting that high amount, because they tend again to stick into the agency lane.
Yeah.
But for us, it's just, it's been such a huge outpour. Like what they say and how they speak about the journey, it's beautiful. We have ones that are first timers and seasoned surrogates, and it's amazing. So every once in a while, things come through and we're like, this probably isn't the best fit, because again, when these people come into the platform, we want it to be that safe space where everybody has the mindset of healthy, going through the journey, healthy for them, healthy for baby, and this connection. And so if we set that up for failure by allowing just anybody to come in, then we're kind of breaking what we're trying to build.
And can I tell you, just from the story, from talking to you ladies, I can definitely see, I don't know, this is something special that you're creating. And I think probably the reason why you get more good than bad surrogates coming in is because you ladies are portraying the story behind it. You've already been there. So it just kind of feeds, the people that are coming to you ladies. And as you continue growing, I could probably see this growing into something so beautiful. And you'll have like, I don't know, you'll they were through Little Seed and look at this one. And then the connection of families. You guys have a reunion one day and everybody comes together. I could just see it. I picture it all.
We cannot wait. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Yes.
It's needed. It's very much so.
Have you done those yearly parties with the Little Seed family?
Not yet.
Not
no.
yet.
Did I give you an idea? Did I give you an idea though? I'm an idea person.
Yeah. I mean, inside the platform, we've already could sisterhood. Like the intended
Mhm.
parents can
Yeah.
talk in chats together, and it's safe because they know everyone's background check. No one can write an anonymous post. And then same thing with the surrogates, creating a sisterhood. Even when they're past their journey, they're always continued in the community and the platform to either mentor a surrogate, and talk and just have that connection. It's something so special that they've helped, and
Yeah.
having others that can understand walking that journey is beautiful.
Would you say any ages come in to be a surrogate? Like, do you receive different ages, or is there a
No,
recommended? I don't know.
so we follow ASRM guidelines, and that's kind of like that golden seal of like what it should be. So it's 21 to 45.
Okay.
I would say the average age range, though, is probably anywhere between 27 to 38
Mhm.
is what we're
And
seeing.
intended parents, what are the ages mostly?
I would say mid 30s to
Mhm.
early mid 50s.
Okay,
Darlene,
I'm still there.
I think you have
Yeah.
somebody here that,
I can be the
Yeah.
surrogate though. I can because I passed the age limit. I do have a beautiful uterus.
There you go. Yeah, there you go. I think so many women, and Amanda says this so beautifully, that like they don't even realize that they could be a surrogate or how that is, or that they could help a family. And once they realize like they could qualify, that they're not too old, or like, oh, I just had to have one healthy pregnancy. Like it's so amazing. I think that opens that
Yes.
door to help others.
would you do it again, Amanda? Would you do
Ye-
again? Like, would you sign up again to be a surrogate?
the short answer is yes, because I again feel like I won't ever be done having children. I feel like there's a purpose for me, is to help bring life into this world. And so yes, but the short answer is like I probably would just with Jessica and Frank. But yeah, there's a lot that goes into it for sure.
Yeah.
Seeing where my family's at, what this looks like for us and our growth and our path. And then really there's that pressure for sure for Jessica more than me. But really she has Olivia and embracing this moment. And so I'm really just like stepped back and letting them just enjoy without having this
Expectation.
pressure on them. Yeah, or expectation. But it was like I said, it was an honor to do.
Yeah.
And you
But
know
we get
what?
that often.
You're still bringing children to this world through your company, even if it's not you
Mhm.
carrying this time. You are doing it for other couples.
Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
this is our second baby.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
literally.
And
Yes.
and who knows, 2 years from now or something, it'll be like you have thousands of babies.
Oh my gosh, that would be
Yeah.
amazing.
It would be amazing.
I
Who
just got chills
knows?
thinking about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the goal,
I think it's
There's so many.
beautiful. It's beautiful. How are you going out there with your company to kind of get yourself out there so people know more about you? So where do people find you? What's the best avenues, I guess, to reach out to you?
Yeah, they can go to our website, littleseedmatch.com. They
Mhm.
can scroll through there. There's tons of information, but at the bottom is where they can book a free consultation. It would be with myself and Amanda. And then they can also find us on Instagram. Our handle is Little Seed Match.
What's one thing that you would tell that woman that's listening, or that man? What would you tell them about surrogacy that they
It
might
can
not
be,
know, or
it
that they
can
might
be
be unsure?
beautiful. It can be non-transactional. It can be doable financially if you go a non-traditional way. Yeah.
Yeah, that human connection can be the core. And it is something that if you're feeling a desire to grow a family, whether it's your own family or helping somebody, that we've created this path and it might be the perfect path for you. So it's doable. It's doable.
Yes.
You're
Yes.
talking to me. You're talking to me.
Yes, yes. I think the biggest misconception and myth with this is that everybody comes in and they're like, I want to find somebody really close by, local,
Oh,
distant.
yes. Good point, Jess.
And I think that needs to be so talked about, because then I always tell people, I'm like, that neighbor like two doors down that you can't stand? You're like, that's who you'd want to carry your baby because they're close. I'm like, but that friend that you pick up that states away, and you're like, you pick up right where you left off, and you're like, yeah, let's talk and connect. And that's what you need. So
Yeah.
that is the biggest thing that I would say to hit home, that look beyond, look for the connection, like Amanda said. But again, distance, like I don't, I would say going through my personal experience, it didn't really matter at all. And we see in the community a lot where people have been seasoned intended parents or seasoned surrogates. They have learned that the hard way. And they're like, that's why we're getting this outpour coming into us. They're like, not again, because they were sold and told and felt that's what I should have. That's what it should look like. But that's the biggest myth, I would say, of it all.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
opening up the doors to view it a different way.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
making me see it a different way. I'll be honest, I never even, thought about it. I have my two boys as well. Darlene had told me her story about her, her situation, and I feel for her when, she was going through, as you saw, it still touches her, obviously, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And just to think that you can do this another way, and that there is a beautiful way to go about it, like you said, not like a car dealership. This is something more connecting and beautiful. I think it's amazing what you ladies are doing. Really, I do.
And
Yeah.
that support that you're giving those moms, because when I was thinking about that, again, I'm learning. You think about these big corporations and big agencies, the owner is, nowhere to be seen, or
Yeah.
and then it loses that
The
what
connection.
you guys are offering, that connection.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
And one last question that I wanted to ask you. You said your daughter is 5 months.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. So you just did this. This was like, I don't know why I thought it was like 5 years. I was like, okay, it's been 5 years. 5 months. How are you doing at home with the 5-month-old? How are you adjusting?
Oh, well,
You look very relaxed, by the way. Beautiful, glowing. You both.
oh, no. I think my husband's my rock. Like, he just is so supportive and so helpful. It's just, yeah, I couldn't do it without him. So I think it's a new learning, right? Like, I feel like I'm an older mom later in life because of like everything, the way it pushed. And all of a sudden, you're like, oh, everything shifts, because it's our first. And so it's just navigating all that in the best way. We're just relishing in all the new stuff.
Do you call Amanda and tell her, oh my God, help me here. I don't know what to do here.
I've been asking Amanda for advice from the moment, probably even before we transferred, but truly when she was pregnant, I'd be like, well, what would you do? And, because again, we were so connected. I always wanted, her opinion on things because she's done it, and she did it in a way that I would do for my own. So I valued that opinion so much.
That's amazing, ladies. Seriously,
That's
it gets
so
me.
great.
I've had goosebumps like
I
3
know,
times during the
tears,
conversation.
laughs, goosebumps. And
Yeah.
do you plan to open internationally? Where are your clients coming from the most?
Right now, everybody's in the U.S.
Okay.
Except for a few states that like surrogacy is not allowed.
I
But there's
didn't
not very
know that.
many. Yeah. So there's a few. Will we go internationally? Possibly, yes. Maybe something along the lines of like Europe and going in that route for not for surrogates, but for intended parents. Surrogates would stay U.S. bound in
Oh.
here.
Nice. Very nice.
Yeah, that's the future of Little Seeds Match.
Yeah.
Anything you ladies would want to finish with and end with, and for those that are, maybe listening and say, I either want to be an intended parent or I want to be a surrogate. Right? Intended parent or surrogate. Yes, I said that right.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I had to think about that for a second. Anything that you would tell them that are listening?
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, I would say that we're here. If you have questions or you're thinking about it or you're just not quite sure, that's okay because it's very overwhelming, but we're here to help break it down, walk through it, get to know you personally so we can see if it's a great fit.
Yeah, absolutely. And I would say an independent journey does not mean you're alone. Again, you're supported through it all with us.
Beautiful.
Absolutely.
And I want to end with one last thing because we are here on a Zoom call, but you ladies have a very beautiful energy on you. And I think Darlene and I all had I'm telling you, we had goosebumps. She cried a little bit. So it's nice because even though we're not physically in the same place together and we're seeing each other on screen, that you get a certain energies. And I think the energy that I feel is a bonding, and it's really a beautiful story. And congratulations to you, seriously, with your
Yes.
5-year, I was going to say 5-year-old, 5 months old.
Yeah. Thank you
And
so
one
much.
last question. Do you have an office, or is it mostly, how does it work if somebody wants to go and meet you in person?
Well, we do Zoom calls
Zoom calls. Okay.
for virtual. Yeah. We haven't had any that close by, like within well, maybe one, actually. We have one that is close by, drivable. But yeah, yeah, we've talked with them and talked about like even RIPs that are close or surrogates to grab coffee or things like that. Again, it's just a community that we personally lived. So I always feel connected to all of our members that are part of the community.
Beautiful.
Littleseedmatch.com.
Thank you so much for
Yes.
what you're doing. Thank you for being
Thank you
here.
for having us.
For, like Monica said, your beautiful energy. And I wish you the best. And
Yeah.
we're here for whatever you need.
Mama's playground, mothers, this is all a community as well. So
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
Oh,
thank
yeah.
you
We love
so
the space
much.
that you guys are providing. We think it's amazing what you're doing. So thank you guys for
Yeah.
having that.
yeah, thank you, ladies.
Thank you so much.
It was a
Thank
pleasure.
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.